Hi, and welcome along to DR Sports. We're here for another transfers. Here we go with the legend himself, Fabrizio Romano, over there in Italy. How you doing? Hope you're well.
I'm good. Thank you, my friend. Always a pleasure to be here together.
Good. And I know you must be busy. We've only got like 10 days to go until the transfer window closes. So probably we're going to see a bit more activity because it's been a bit quiet so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit slow, I would say. It's slow. It's a slow market. All clubs are waiting for the international break to move. The last week is typical also because many clubs know that they can have better opportunities talking about conditions to sign the players in the last week or in the last few days. This is typical of January window. So I was expecting this kind of window, this low window, but I'm sure that next week something surprising maybe could happen.
All right, well, listen, I'm going to start off with my club, Arsenal. Right, all Arsenal fans are a bit in mourning. We got knocked out of the Carabao Cup over here, so all we got now to concentrate on the league, and we were desperate to get into the top four. Now, there's been one player that has been on every Arsenal fan's lips since this January transfer window opened, and that is Dusan Vlahovic of Fiorentina. Watched him playing on Monday against Genoa. Very, very good player, highly sought after. But can you give us any update on what's happening? There's so many rumors. Some rumors say, yes, he may come. There's others that are saying, no, he doesn't want to come. The club want to hold on to him. Other rumors that the club, Arsenal, have put in a huge bid for him. What are you understanding around the Dusan Vlahovic situation?
To me, it looks like a really clear story, to be honest. I know that we have a lot of rumors, but the story looks really clear. Also talking with Fiorentina directors, official, the situation is super clear. Fiorentina are open to talk with any club. Arsenal are pushing since long time because they want Dusan Vlahovic. They are trying in every way to sign Dusan Vlahovic. So Arsenal interest is 100% confirmed and they want him. But at the same point, from player side, there is no answer. The player is not answering. Also, what Fiorentina directors say today is we are trying to have a conversation with Vlahovic, with his agents, to know what he wants to do, but he's not even answering. And when he's not answering, it's because the player idea is so clear. He wants to decide in the summer. He doesn't want to decide in January. He doesn't want to move in January. His plan is to leave the club in the summer. So this is why it's absolutely complicated for Arsenal, because they're trying and pushing and showing ambition, in my opinion, because they're showing that they want this boy at all costs. But at the same point, the problem is not with Fiorentina. Arsenal-Fiorentina is a very good relationship. They're prepared to pay and have a good conversation with Fiorentina. So I don't see a big problem between clubs. The problem is with the player, because he doesn't want to move in January. So Arsenal are going to do something crazy in the final week with him and with his agent, with a big commission, with a big salary to change his mind, or this deal for January window is going to be more than complicated.
All right. If not, there's another player over in Italy at the moment that Arsenal have been looking at, and that's Arthur, who's at Juventus at the moment. There seems to be a sticking point. You know, again, seems to be a lot of interest from the player, from what we're hearing, in coming to Arsenal. But the sticking point seems to be the loan move.
Yes, the problem is about the formula. Yes, the loan move, because Juventus, first of all, they need to find a replacement if they want Arthur to leave the club in January. And at the moment, it's not easy. They were thinking of Dennis Zakaria of Borussia Mönchengladbach, player that is also in Manchester United list, but at the moment is not something easy on player side. They're exploring the market for midfielders, but it's not easy to find a solution on loan, because if Arthur leaves on loan, they need a player on loan. So this is why the situation is complicated. At the same point, talking about Arthur, they had a meeting, Arsenal, with his agent. It was a good conversation because the player is open to join. But at the same point, Juventus want an 18-month loan, not just 6 months. They want a whole salary paid till the end of the season and till the end of the next season too. And so at the moment, the situation is still complicated between clubs. Let's see if in the final week of the window, Juventus will find a replacement and maybe will give the green light for Arthur to Arsenal. The talks are still on, so it's not off. But let's see what happens, because at the moment it's still not so easy to find an agreement between all the parties involved.
I saw this rumor today about Leno, Arsenal's goalkeeper, going to Newcastle, and maybe perhaps Arsenal signing this guy, Matt Turner, from the MLS. What have you heard on that?
Yes, it's a serious possibility for Leno. We have to see what happens in the next days, if Newcastle will really make this official proposal after some conversation. They had some conversation, but no official proposal yet. Let's see if they will enter into these stages. But Arsenal are seriously working on Matt Turner. They want him as backup goalkeeper. So they're working on that deal with the club. With the player, everything is agreed on personal terms. So it's just about clubs now. They are in talks. They are in conversation. And I think it's a good possibility for the last week for Arsenal to sign a new goalkeeper. Of course, the first goalkeeper will be Ramsdale, but to have a good backup like Matt Turner, who is the goalkeeper of United States national team. So a good opportunity.
Okay, talking to Newcastle, they're one of the teams that, as we know, they've got a lot of money at the moment, and they're trying to survive in the league, and they seem to be involved in lots of activities. Diego Carlos is one, and we know that they're looking for a defender, but Diego Carlos of Sevilla, what is the likelihood of that happening?
Yes, it's always difficult to negotiate with Sevilla. We know also what happened with Koundé and Chelsea last summer. It was close, and then Sevilla, till the last day, they wanted their money or nothing. And it's the same with Diego Carlos. They were starting for 55 million euros value for him. The first bid from Newcastle was around 30 million, so big gap between the two parties. But they are still there. Newcastle are still pushing to have Diego Carlos. They have an agreement with the player. So this is why they're pushing and pushing. They want to jump in with a new proposal soon to Sevilla. Let's see, because I have the feeling that this deal is still open. It's not easy with Sevilla. It's never easy, but it's still open because people around the deal, who is working on the deal, is pushing, is trying to change the situation and to make this happen. So let's see next week. But at the same point, I'm sure that Newcastle are still pushing, and the first option is Diego Carlos.
All right. Jesse Lingard is another player that I heard at Newcastle are interested in, from Manchester United, of course. We know that he went on loan previously to West Ham, and he was brilliant on that loan move. Any likelihood of that happening? Lingard this month, of course, out of contract in the summer.
Yes, this is a possibility. In this case, it's not easy on player side because he doesn't want to move on a permanent to Newcastle. He wants to keep his options open for the summer, as you mentioned. He's going to be a free agent, and this is why he wants to wait. So Newcastle are trying for a loan move, but because the player is not interested in a permanent move as of now. Let's see if with money the situation could change. But from Man United, they are not so happy with the loan situation, so they want a different kind of proposal. The feeling is Newcastle are pushing on that one too, as for Diego Carlos as centre-back, also for Lingard as creative player for attacking positions. So yes, Lingard is still a target, and they will go for him in the coming days too.
Okay, that'd be interesting. Let's move to Tottenham. Adama Traore. Now there's seems to be that they're trying to get Adama Traore from Wolves. Any likelihood of this one happening before the end of the transfer window?
Yes, for Adama Traore is a good possibility. I think there are good chances for Tottenham to sign him. Also in this case, the problem is the manager of Wolves, because Bruno Lage wants Adama to stay, to fight with Wolves till the end of the season. And this is why he's trying to change the situation. The first proposal was turned down by Tottenham, by Wolves, Tottenham proposal. So it's not a super easy negotiation, but the feeling around Tottenham is that they can do it. Next week, they will try again. They will push again. The director of Tottenham, Fabio Paratici, always wanted him. Conte wants a new offensive winger. And so there are chances for Adama Traore to join Tottenham. It's not done. It's not close, but they are in talks and the chances are there. So.
All right. And then there's a player I've been watching him at the African Cup of Nations, and he's been doing really, really well. Also been doing well for his club, AC Milan. That's Frank Kessie. That's another club. That's another player that has been linked with Tottenham, along as with a host of other clubs as well. Any chance he could be moving this January?
I think for January window is complicated. To be honest, I see this move as complicated for January because AC Milan need Kessie. And to replace Kessie, if they sell him, is not easy in few days. Also, they need to find a centre-back. So it's not an easy market for AC Milan. And this is why I think to sell Kessie in January is really, really complicated. I think there are chances for June as free agent because Tottenham will be interested in him for June, for next season. Many clubs will be in the race if he's not extending his contract with AC Milan. I say if because the situation is still open between Kessie and AC Milan. So it's complicated contract extension, but it's not over yet. And so let's see what happens. But for January, my feeling is really difficult.
So many players at the moment where their contracts are running down. I look at Chelsea. I mean, this is something that we've not seen for quite a while, but I've noticed it in recent times. A lot of players are running their contracts down to the end. Yes. Chelsea have got a couple, Christensen, Rudigar. Will they still be Chelsea players, or will they move this month, or are they going to sign new deals?
For Christensen, I think it's difficult. It's difficult to see Christensen to sign a new deal with Chelsea. This is the feeling I have talking with people in these conversations. I think it's very difficult because he had an agreement, a verbal agreement with Chelsea in the summer, end of the summer, final week of August, first week of September. So they were prepared to sign a new deal. Then something changed in the conversation at the final stages. And this is why Chelsea were not so happy with the situation. Tuchel was pushing the player to sign a new deal, but at the moment, nothing has been agreed. Chelsea proposal is still on the table for Christensen, but it's the same proposal they made in August. So they don't want to change or improve the proposal. It's still the same. And Christensen, at the moment, is not happy with that proposal. He's in conversation with some clubs. There is a lot of interest from Bayern and Barcelona in particular. A lot of rumors on Borussia Dortmund, but I'm told that Bayern and Barcelona are working to sign him potentially on a free if he's going to leave Chelsea. He received some proposals also from English clubs approaching him, but he doesn't want to go to Premier League clubs to respect Chelsea and so to go abroad. This is the plan for Christensen. For Rudiger is different because Chelsea are still pushing, are still hoping to change the situation, to change Tony Rudiger's mind and so to find an agreement on financial point of view and to sign a new deal. It's not easy. It's not easy also in that case because some clubs from abroad like Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid are still in the race for Tony Rudiger, are approaching his agents. So Rudiger's situation is open. For Christensen, I think it's going to be very difficult for Chelsea to keep him.
Yeah, I also saw them getting linked with Matthias de Ligt. Anything in that?
Yes.
Chelsea.
A lot of links with the league. There are going to be a lot of rumors for the league because there are chances for him to leave Juventus. And so I expect rumors from many clubs, not just Chelsea. For the summer, of course, because in January he's not going to leave
So you don't
Juventus.
think January won't happen?
No chance. He's going to stay in January, but for summer, it will be one of the names to keep an eye on. I don't know if only for Chelsea, also for other clubs. For Chelsea, I will keep a name of Koundé again after last summer because they still have his name in the list.
Okay. Manchester United. Amadou Haidara of RB Leipzig.
Yes.
Do you think that might happen?
This is one of the names that for sure Rangnick knows so well. You mentioned Leipzig and this like Rangnick house, so it's absolutely normal for him to know these players. The problem is the value is 45 million euros for January window, and at the moment it's too much. So there are no conversation as of now between Manchester United and Leipzig. It's not something that they are discussing as of now. Let's see next week if Man United will decide. It's not just about the player. They have to decide if they want to sign a new midfielder or not in January, or if they want to wait for summer and sign a top target. When I say top target, I mean top names. So this is why they're keeping their time. Also because, if they're going to change the manager in the coming months and maybe the new manager is not happy with Haidara, you're going to spend money for a player that the new manager doesn't want. So the manager situation at Man United is something really important. This is why at the moment no decision has been made, and they will keep an eye on Man United next week because they will decide if they were going to sign some player or not, or if they will stay like this.
And again, another team with all these free agents. As I said, now we've already spoken about Lingard, Pogba, free agent in the summer. What's happening with him? Martial,
Yes.
Conflicting reports between him and the manager. The manager saying that he refused to play the other day. Martial coming out and saying he didn't refuse to play. What's happening with those two? Are they staying or are they going?
Yes, for Pogba, it's always the same situation, and I always keep saying the same. Pogba has not decided what he wants to do, and it's going to take time. He's not going to decide in January. He's not going to decide in February. My feeling is going to decide in the coming months, at the end of the season, not now. This is the position from Pogba. So Man United still hope he could extend the contract. It could continue with United, but at the moment there is still nothing agreed, and he's not decided if he's going to stay, where he's going to go. So nothing is decided in Pogba's mind, and we need to wait because he's not going to decide in January. This is 100% sure. And talking about Martial, is different situation. He wants to go after 7 years at Man United. He wants to try something new, something different. But he received some approaches from English clubs, Newcastle on loan, Tottenham on loan, but the player is not interested, from what I'm told, in loan move to English clubs. So he wants to go abroad if there is the possibility. Sevilla are interested, Juventus are interested, maybe Barcelona in the final days of the window if they will decide to go for a striker. But the real problem is the value of the player for Man United. They want the whole payment of the salary till the end of the season and the loan fee. It's around 10 million euros for a 6 months loan. This is why many clubs are not so convinced of this deal.
That's a lot of money. Explain to what's going on with Ousmane Dembele. Again, it's the common theme of this January transfer window. Another free agent that Barcelona, they've been trying to negotiate, but it seems like Barcelona lost patience with him and they're saying, leave now. I mean, it's a really extraordinary situation.
But it's not over yet, because I know that seems over, but it's not over yet for Ousmane Dembele. Because from what I'm told,
not over for who? Not over for Barcelona, or just
for between Barcelona and Ousmane, because they say, okay, you have to leave immediately. But from what I'm told, the player doesn't want to leave in January. He's not planning to leave in January, to do his move in January. Maybe in the summer if he will be a free agent, but not in January. So they still hope from Dembele's side to find a way with Barcelona to maybe extend the contract. I don't know how, because after what Barcelona board said in the last hours, and Xavi too, it's still a complicated situation. But from player side, he has no plans to do the move in January. So if he's going to be a free agent, my feeling is he's going to be in the Premier League next season, because his agent already had some contact with Premier League clubs. They approached him.
Which ones?
Newcastle approached him, but at the moment the player is waiting. They're offering him a lot of money, but the player is waiting to see what happens. Of course, we know that Chelsea always had an interest in wingers like him, and so it could be a possibility, but not for January, maybe for the summer, but it depends on a lot of factors. It's nothing advanced. I was reading around of proposals. There is still no bid from Chelsea for Dembele. They're just thinking of opportunities, but nothing else. So it's going to be a long story. It's not over yet.
All right, I want to this one, and it would be very interesting, and I think a lot of football fans around the world, they would have seen what happened to Christian Eriksen in the Euros when he had the heart problems, and of course he wasn't able to continue on playing football in Italy because of the ruling around it, but he can still play football. He's been linked with a lot of clubs over here in England. Where do you think Christian Eriksen will end up, and do you think he will play football again in the Premier League?
Yeah, so at the moment, as you mentioned, we hope to see Christian Eriksen play football again. This is our hope, and Brentford made the best proposal, but it's not only Brentford. There's many clubs interested in Eriksen, not Ajax in Eredivisie, but many clubs in Premier League. From what I'm told, Christian has not made any decision yet on where he wants to go. He wants to take some days before deciding and announcing his decision about his next club. But my answer is yes. I think we have good chances to see Christian Eriksen back in the Premier League, because he's really tempted. He's not decided about the project, the right club. He wants to have the right contract proposal, also to protect his future. This is why he's going to take some time. But yes, my feeling is in a few days we'll have an answer from Eriksen, and it will be clear. But Brentford made the proposal, and many clubs are keeping an eye on him.
And he's definitely fit enough to continue playing.
Yes, he wants to continue. People close to him say he wants to continue. Yes.
Okay, well, that'd be a great story. I think
yes,
of the transfer window, that'd be a great story if he can, after what happened to him in the summer, if he could, return back to the Premier League. I think that would be a brilliant story. Fabrizio, I want to thank you very, very much. I know you've been busy. I'm going to leave you now so you can get back to work, working on all those transfer rumours. It is going to be a crazy week, I get the feeling, next week.
I think too. I have the same feeling. It's going to be crazy because many clubs will need to move, so it's going to be an interesting one.
Pick one that you think might surprise people. That you think it could happen?
Oh, maybe Arsenal will need to do something. Arsenal need to do something. I would say Arthur is a serious possibility. So I see Arsenal signing a midfielder. This is what they need to do. So I think Arsenal will be the club to keep an eye on.
All right. Fabrizio, thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you, my friend. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.